Living on a main road is so annoying for filming. He's literally rolled her leash around herself. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Joe Woodell's YouTube channel. And today we're actually gonna go around to some of my favorite spots. I'm not really sure where we're gonna end up yet because it's Cape Cod in the summertime and it's really hard to make sure that nobody's not somewhere. Pretty much there's everybody everywhere, and sometimes, you know, you might not be able to get in because somebody's already there. So I'm gonna try to get some of my favorite spots. We'll see. Hopefully the first one I get to, that's normally my favorite one anyways. Not really a lot of people ever go to it, if ever. I think one time ever I was trying to go there and somebody was there, maybe. Sadly, I'm gonna have to leave Maya behind. Some places around the Cape don't really allow the dog, so if I'm gonna go fishing there, I can't really have Maya. And oh, I need to find a good spot where I can be able to bring her and go fishing at the same time. So, you know, she can actually be in one of the videos hanging out while I'm out there fishing, and that would actually be great. So anyways, we're gonna get out there, get fishing, and see what we can get. Also, here's today's comment of the day. I'm gonna put it down below right here. I'm gonna start doing it like this because it's a lot easier for me to make these videos and intros ahead of time than having to go back and forth, and just makes my life much easier. So I appreciate whoever it is. Thank you guys for commenting down below. Make sure you guys comment for your chance to be featured in the next comment of the day. So I was actually looking at Google Maps and I decided that I should try a couple ponds around my house I've never fished before. So we're gonna try some new ponds I've never fished before in hopes that I don't have to worry about being gone for too long, leaving Maya alone, because it does make me kind of nervous. It'd also be nice to find a pond that I could bring Maya to that I don't have to worry about. Okay, so the first one I'm checking out is actually Walker's Pond, and I think it's actually technically Brewster. So you need to actually have a beach permit to park here, which I find kind of funny considering, I mean, you'll see why in a second, but yeah. So after 4, you can park here for free, but I'm gonna throw it out there. It's probably not your best idea, especially right now. So yeah, I'd say we fall under a couple of these, and might be a little discolored. Yeah, let's not go in there. Something tells me it's probably not good. To be honest, I don't even know if you want to be breathing that in. You can just smell that it doesn't smell good, let alone even just standing in it's probably bad. So let's avoid that area and we can knock that off the list of something we really want to try and fish. So I also just looked at Google Maps and it finally dawned on me that I can actually see why this pond is like this. So I'll go ahead and show you guys right about here. And it's probably been like this for a little while and I don't know how long it's gonna last. Okay, so we're actually now at another pond called Upper Millpond in Brewster. And I've actually decided the fact that it's connected to that other pond and it doesn't actually smell the best, that I'm actually not gonna fish here just in case. I don't think there's any algae here. They say on all the signs that the water quality is acceptable, but it poured and it does not smell great. And I don't have the highest confidence that I just don't feel like getting sick just in case. So we'll try a different pond. It's actually connected to this one on that side, but that one should be a little more safe. We'll see if we can even get to it for fishing wise at least, because there's a herring run right there. So I don't know if you can, but we'll see. So as you can tell, this other one, this is how you have to get to Upper Millpond, at least the way that I'm going to it. And yeah, it's a pretty long dirt road. And then you come to that little parking lot where you have the boat ramp, which is pretty much what most people use it for. They don't really use it to swim, but they use it as a place to drop their kayaks and go kayaking. But all that to, yeah, just not trust the water. At least right now. It's probably fine. I just don't feel like risking it just in case, because it was probably not even the best idea of myself in the first place to stand near that water for so long. I mean, I can't really find anything about it bad to breathe in. Though it's not good probably for long periods of time. It's really pretty much touching it or anything, but I would just be a little more smart in the future and don't do what I did, guys, just in case. It's always better to play on the side of caution. But for that, I don't even want to risk fishing at that other pond. So after those ponds, so far we've gone through, I believe it's about 4 that I tried, that either 1, you need a parking permit to be at, or 2, there's pretty bad algae that could get you extremely sick, so we can't really fish. I decided to come to my favorite pond in Harwich, which is Walker's Pond, ironically enough. And yeah, the rain lately has made that pretty unfishable area. And that also looks like an area that I'm just gonna avoid because it's gonna be one headache after another. So not really having much luck today of places to even be able to go fish. So I don't know. That means it's surprisingly hard to just even be able to go freshwater fishing on the Cape. That's why I'm having issues at even being able to find a place for myself at all, at least bankside fishing. Like there is so many different places where you can actually fish with a kayak. So I guess I just need to get on my kayak game, but I I don't know, having a real rough time being able to do anything. So I might just wait till after 4 o'clock to be able to do something. I don't know, but it's a little unfortunate. All right, what's going on, guys? So today was a pretty big disappointment, and this wasn't my original plan for how I wanted this video to go, but after thinking about it a little bit, I thought it was pretty important to get this out there, especially for people who are coming to the Cape to try and fish. And there's not really much out there for freshwater or like information or anything that's actually consistent. So I decided it's pretty important to get this information out there. So I'm gonna kind of go over what happened today and explain how much I tried to make it work and how many places I went to try and get it to work, and how pretty much everything kind of stood in the way of that, and which makes any kind of bankside fishing on the Cape really hard. Like it's really hard, because for me, whenever I would fish, it wasn't really much of a problem for me before, because I just kind of went to one pond. But since wanting to do the YouTube and everything for everybody, I wanted to go to different places, not always go to the same place. And not to mention just get a different kind of experience out there for everybody, and just kind of always switching it up, try new things. And like, I don't know, I wanted myself too to like branch out and try new stuff. So anyways, we'll just get to it. I really want to get into kind of one by one, play by play, throw in some pictures, some things for you guys, and try to make it a little more interesting for kind of what happened today when I tried to do a lot. Okay, so to start off, we went to 8 different ponds between Brewster, Harwich, actually just Brewster and Harwich. So we'll start with the order. I started with Slough Pond in Brewster. That one's right off the side of the road. There's a place for it. You can walk down to it. There's a little beach right there where people were swimming. So it looked like it'd be a good spot to fish, but there's people there swimming, and there's people on the beach, so you can't really put a tackle box down. If I want to go fishing, I'd have to put on waders and go walk all the way down, and then I could only have the fishing lures I could carry on me, and all the tools and camera gear and everything like that I could carry on me, and not really a pleasurable experience. There wasn't really any beach side that went significant distance down that I could stand on, so that, not to mention you need a beach sticker to be there. And so keep in mind, when it comes to the ponds and beach stickers on the Cape, when it comes to that for town beaches at ponds and they want it there, it's not like it. So when you're at the beaches, there's an attendant, they stop you, they see if you have a sticker or not, and then you have to pay to park, or you just get in with the sticker, or you know, you walk down the street from parking at your friend's house, your house, whatever, and you get in for free. Now when you're at a pond, it's not very likely that there's going to be an attendant or a cop drive by, or maybe somebody from the town. I don't know, it's not always likely, but it definitely, and I mean definitely, could happen. Whether it was a town worker or a cop, Karen's really mad that she sees somebody parked there without a beach sticker and she calls the cops on you. This is the Cape, it probably will happen, which is why I didn't really risk it. I stopped there for like 5 minutes, because if anybody wants to stop and give me a ticket for parking there for 5 minutes, good luck. That, or I'd just drive away before anything could happen if somebody was really mad, but I highly doubt anybody would give me a hard time. So anyways, that was the first one, so I couldn't actually fish there without having the beach sticker, not to mention it wouldn't have been pleasurable anyways, because I would have had one lure, maybe 2 if I want to put it in my pocket, no tools, no camera gear. It wouldn't have been fun for me. Okay, the number 2 was Walker's Pond, which, ironically enough, you also need a beach sticker to be at. But, as you can see, it is not a safe place to go, period. And I actually kind of want to cover that a bit, because I didn't realize how bad that actually was until I was actually reading up on it after I left. I thought about it to myself, and I noticed it smelled really bad. Like, just this different kind of stagnant smell of just like harmful, and I wanted to look up to make sure that I didn't just breathe in some kind of neurotoxin or something like that. So I wanted to look it up, and I can't believe that, one, it would even have a thing saying that you need a parking permit to even be there with how bad this is. And apparently it's also been there and like this for a while. I mean, I heard about this and I didn't realize that that was one of the places that had it. Nor did I even know that that's what it was. I had no idea. So if you don't know, it's called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong, but Cyanobacteria, and it's really bad. Apparently it can put humans in the ER. Let's see, what about the effects? Hold on, effects on humans. Obviously, with a little bit of research that I did, there's not much that I know. I'm not gonna pretend to know a lot, but basically here's a little summary of how bad it is. Things that it can do to humans is skin irritation, stomach cramps, vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, fever, sore throat, headache, muscle and joint pain, blisters of the mouth, and liver damage. That's the one that could be really bad. And it's kind of surprising that that can all just come from standing in the water, just standing in it. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you look at it that you just shouldn't go in it. But at the same time, if you don't know, it also kind of, at least that time, looked like it was just pollen sitting on top of the water. And I looked at it and I was like, that's not right. But I can't believe that that option is there. Now, I mean, most people would probably look at that and say no. But do you know there's always going to be somebody that would see that, have no idea, or even somebody at night and just walk into that water and not know? How you are able to just freely walk in there with no giant warning signs, no tape, nothing, it's just easily accessible, is crazy to me. Not to mention it can kill your dog. Like, you know, you bring an animal down there, you let them even lick that water and they could die. So that is mind-blowing to me that there's nothing being done for that, and to park there you even need a permit. If you guys are finding this information helpful or anything at all, make sure you guys give the video a like and comment down below for me if you could, please. And if you haven't, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's keep it going. At least up until 4 o'clock. But why is there no sign there? Why, like, I mean, there's a sign, but why is there no bigger warning? Like, there's nothing, there's no tape, no rope. It can kill your dog. People are paying for your permit to park there. At least put up a chain. A chain and a sign. Like, I don't get it. It's crazy to me. But that one's really what bothered me, and kind of the main reason why I want to put this out in the first place is that I was just there, and if I didn't know better, it could have been really bad. Okay, so that's 2 of the ponds. Another pond is Pine Pond in Brewster. That was right next to it. It was more of just kind of like going out on a limb, hoping that you could get there. There's no way to get to it. Good luck. Okay, then the next pond, Elbow Pond. Same thing. Pond right down the street. You can see it from the road. There's no place to park and get to it unless you have a house on the water or a way to park down the street and walk to it that I could find. I couldn't even find a beachside place to fish even if you wanted to, so I don't know. But another place I couldn't get to. So then, after those, I got into Upper Millpond. Now, this one I already knew how to get to because I've been there a couple years ago with my kayak with Alex, and I probably would have fished it. But again, it was connected to that pond. It didn't smell good, which was a sign of that algae. I couldn't see any of it, no sign of it. There's boats in the water. People have definitely been there because the ramp was wet, so it's obvious other people have been in there. I didn't want to risk prolonged exposure to that water, not to mention, again, there was no beach, no place for me to put the tackle, so I'd have one lure and whatever I could bring on me, no camera equipment, nothing. So I didn't really want to do that. And another beach sticker would be needed. Now, this again is in the middle of the woods, and there's a very small parking lot, and to get there is dirt, so the likeliness of someone coming down there to actually give you a ticket is pretty low. But again, saying Karen will be driving by that lives there, sees you there without a beach sticker, it's probably likely that she would call the police or somebody on you to come give you a ticket because she's mad that you're there at her pond. Believe me, it's Cape Cod. It will happen. It's happened to me before. So anyways, I'll definitely be back there in the future though with the kayak to go out there, because there and the next pond is Lower Millpond. Now that's one of my favorite connections between those 2 ponds. There's a small little area, and I can't wait. I'll get out there later with the kayak on a day where it's not have just rained, turned to heat, the perfect condition for these blooms to be going crazy. Because around this time, it's actually July 5th, and the last 4 or 5 days it's been pouring, thunderstorms. That's why I haven't been able to go out and do much, and why this is going to be the video, because this is the day where I finally could go out, and just wasn't happening. Either I couldn't get in there or I'd have to pay to get in there, and if you park there without paying to get in there without a permit, you're going to get a fine, and there's no way to pay for it otherwise, which is great. Now I got to be honest with you, coming from being a local, I've never had this problem with needing a beach sticker ever, me or my friends. The large majority of my friends have never even bought a beach sticker, or me, because we always either knew somebody that lived nearby that we could park at and walk down to wherever we wanted to go, or it just wasn't a problem. We get there early in the morning if we were going to go to the beaches or something like that. It's never been an issue because we've never tried to go to ponds and fishing like that when you could just go to the beach. But I never realized how much of a problem it is at ponds in the Cape. Why you have to pay to go to every single pond that's publicly accessible is beyond me. That's actually, it's very surprising to me. I could see a select few, but all of them that have public parking, that's crazy, in my opinion at least. But I know it's crazy expensive. I'm not going to look it up or anything like that, but I know if you're a non-resident, it's somewhere in the couple $100 range. But anyways, so it's not really worth getting because you just go at a friend's house and walk down, or something else, or you just pay $20 the one day you want to get there at a normal time, or you just wait till 4 o'clock and go out. That's what we always used to do. So we still do today. I just find it crazy that even at these small little ponds where there's a beach that's big enough for a family, you have to pay to park at. That's what's surprising to me personally, but hey, here we are. So anyways, and then Upper Millpond. Now, as far as I know, Upper Millpond for fishable area has no actual public parking. The one place that I went to go check at doesn't really look like a public parking area for fishing. It's really just for where the windmill is. And the only other way that I've ever been there, because I've actually fished that pond before and caught a channel catfish, is from coming over from Upper Millpond, which is what, again, I'm gonna do in the future after 4 o'clock with a kayak, because this is the world we live in. It's really hard to freshwater fish on the Cape for some reason, I'm finding out. Okay, so that's Pine, Slough, Elbow, Walker's Pond, Upper Millpond, Lower Millpond. Then we went to another Walker's Pond in Harwich, which I fish all the time. That's a good one for where you can fish there for free, public parking, technically speaking, inside the side of the road. That's one of my secret spots. I'm not going to show you where you guys it is on the map. That's mine. The only place I've been able to find that's really like the best, and I always catch fish, but after just pouring, everything kind of rushed and sat there, and I'd be surprised if I could get a line out where it was even worth time trying to fish. Okay, then the last one is Sand Pond in Harwich, which I've been to a bunch of times too, but again, you need a beach sticker again until 4 o'clock just to be able to park there. Not to mention there was a bunch of people there swimming. I was just gonna park there at 3:30 and go out and go fish because I highly doubt anybody would give me a problem. There was too many people there swimming, and I was gonna put on my waders and just go walk out, but it's too risky. And then the lily pond area, again, because it just rained, it was just full of vegetation and not really doable for me to be able to fish. Okay, so that's 8 different ponds. Not to mention, I already know Long Pond in Harwich, another place I go. I haven't found, I mean, I could be wrong and just, I didn't look hard enough, but I haven't found another place where you can park at it after or before the hour of 4 o'clock that you don't have to pay. I know a couple places you can go to, but you have to pay to park there. Same thing with Hinckley's Pond. I could go to Hinckley's Pond in Harwich, but you have to park at the Cape Cod Rail Trail and walk half a mile down the road, which I didn't really want to do because the only place to fish for it's a beach, and I know people are going to be there swimming, and I'm not going to walk all the way down there on a day like today to just go through that again. So in all of this time between 10 ponds that I could think of on the Cape, there's only 2 that I could get to where I could park there for free and not need a beach sticker and or worry about getting a fine if I park there. And one of which I'd have to walk half a mile to get to, and there was probably people there swimming and not much room for fishing. And the other one was completely loaded with vegetation where I wouldn't even be able to fish at all. Or if I did, it'd not be a very fun time. So now that I'm starting to branch out and try to go all of these other places to go fish on the Cape, I've realized that it is extremely hard to do any kind of freshwater bankside fishing. I mean, even if I had a kayak, it would still be pretty hard to do it, because it's pretty much every pond that you could get to where you would want to go fish and go kayaking, you have to pay before 4 o'clock. That's how the Cape is. I'm starting to realize this now, that unless you know these secretive areas, places to park, friends' houses, things like that, you have to pay to park to go pretty much anywhere that has to do with the water. Pretty much anywhere. So anyways, I don't know. I didn't really think this is where this video was gonna go, but the more I started to do it, I thought it was just really important to get this information out there for you guys or anybody looking to come fishing on the Cape or come vacation on the Cape, that it is really hard to try and go to these freshwater areas for fun before 4 o'clock and go fishing or do any of that stuff at all. And I'm also realizing how important it is too, that if you want to go fishing at some of these areas, make sure that you check the water quality reports on all of these freshwater areas before going there, because it could be dangerous. I'm sure what I did is fine, but I wouldn't really recommend going to areas like I was and being that close for long periods of time, because from the little bit of research I did, it can be bad to just breathe in that air for long periods of time. So just make sure you guys do research on things like that. Make sure you check the water quality report before even stepping in the water, because apparently a lot of the water down here is pretty gross. Anyways, if you're looking to go freshwater fishing on the Cape, make sure you do some research, stuff like that. I'm gonna try to put out videos as much as I can to try and find the best places for you guys when you're looking to freshwater fish to go for free, when you pay money, just in general. I'm gonna keep asking friends, stuff like that, of different places to go and see what we really can come up with that would be good for everybody. But with that bombshell of the news, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like and comment down below and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.